What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. We got my boy Ryan Murphy here, episode 9. What you been up to, Ryan?
Man, I've just been working out, staying ready for whatever's next with basketball and just staying ready, staying prepared.
Okay. How has COVID affected the grind and everything, with gym access and everything? I know it's been tough.
Yeah, COVID has been interesting, especially in Southern California where they take it very seriously. Curfew just got put in. Mandatory testing, I'm pretty sure, is going to happen soon, but luckily I am close and really good friends and workout partners with the Holiday family.
Okay.
Jrue, Aaron, Justin, Ray McCallum. We've all been working out together, Kyle Fogg, and we've been working out at Drew's house in the weight room. And then on the court, we go to Mamba Academy, where they're doing a great job of, the whole social distancing.
Right.
So we've made it work. It's difficult, but you make it work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I saw you on playing ones with Jrue Holiday the other day. He was going back and forth. He looked like he was doing his thing.
Yeah, it's safe to say he won that. We shout out to Mikey G, who's the trainer too. Mikey G is the man. That's Drew's guy, my guy. And we just do a ton of one-on-one situations with limited dribbles, and then we do step backs are worth an extra point, air balls are -1. So Jrue decided to kick our ass for a solid 2 games real quick. You know what's messed up? I have 2 dubs. I have 2 Ws. But Switch Cultures hasn't done mine yet. They said they will, so I'm waiting on that one to come out, hopefully. But Jrue kicked our ass. He's unbelievable, man. He's a 6'4", 6'5", 230-pound point guard. So
no, he's a beast, man. I think he's so underrated. I think he's one of the best guards in the league, both sides of the ball. He's a beast.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, let's kind of like jump into this thing and tell your story. So, growing up from Cali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how was that and on the West Coast and growing up? Where did you find the love for the game, and who put a ball in your hands, and kind of go from there?
For sure. It would definitely be my dad. So you're from the East Coast. My dad actually played at the University of Bridgeport.
Okay, my girlfriend graduated. She played there.
No way.
Yeah, small world. Yeah.
My dad made it to the Elite Eight and Final Four at UB. So basketball comes from my father's side. I started being able to dribble a ball when I was 3, apparently. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you just have fun with it. My dad would come home from work and we'd play one-on-one in the driveway. And then we play one-on-one all the time. And then, you get better, you get more into it. You start watching ESPN. Yeah. My favorite player growing up was Kobe. So I wore the 10 and 24. You just fall in love with this like anything else.
Yeah.
And I think it's so fun, competitive, it's emotional, it's intense. And I still wake up and like tomorrow we're playing one-on-one and I can't wait to beat Jrue now one-on-one. We play Friday.
So that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
How was that transition, living on the East Coast and the West Coast? Because you bounced around a little bit in high school, right? Some prep schools on the East Coast. So, yeah, get into that and, talk about the difference in basketball, too, because, I'm from New York, so I've played all up and down the East Coast. And then, I played my Juco ball in the South. So I was in Alabama, Louisiana, and then Texas in Region 5. So basketball, it changes. It changes everywhere you go, the style of play. And so, yeah, explain that.
East Coast is definitely – well, I went to Fairfield Prep my freshman and sophomore year, which is in Connecticut, not too far from UB. It's actually on Fairfield U's campus. And it was a totally different style of basketball. It wasn't fast-paced compared to California. California, like the Lonzo and the Chino Hills team and all that, the throwing it ahead. That's like how we play here. If someone's open, you just throw it ahead.
Really?
In the East Coast, it was – a lot slower, more bully ball. Like I'm going to get to the rim. And you have to adjust to that. And then my junior year, I went to Wilbraham Munson Academy, which is where Mustafa Heron went, Good Luck went, Max Holtzel, who played at Indiana, and or played at Indiana and San Diego State. Myself, Curtis Kopp, so a lot of really good hoopers have been there, and that prep school league was tough. I loved every second of it, though. I got to play against Omari Spellman. The list goes on and on. Jalen Adams, Donovan Mitchell, Justin Simon.
Is that the Knepsack?
Yeah, I was in the Knepsack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was at Upper Room, and we played against Brewster and a few of those schools up there, South Kent. So,
yeah, of course. South Kent, Tremont Waters, Miles Powell.
Yep.
So I loved it, but I ended up getting a lot of scholarship offers. So I was like, you know what? Why stay here when I could go back and play in Cali for my senior year with all my best friends I went to school with and everything. So I went back to LA, played out here in SoCal, and two totally different games. I brought, you got to bring both of them to the table now that you've experienced both. So Cali's more like skill, I would say, than like bump. I'm just going to bully my way, or not a lot of great shooters in New York compared to Cali. In a respectful sense. I'm not trying to be disrespectful whatsoever.
No, absolutely. The game is different. New York, it's all grit and handle, and a lot of island work, and will your way to the rim. And Cali's a lot. It's more finesse game. It's a lot prettier.
Yeah, for sure. So coming back my senior year was a little bit of an adjustment. But I mean, I wouldn't trade my high school experience going back and forth for anything. I think the connections I've made through basketball are crazy. I've gotten to play in front of some amazing crowds at Fairfield Prep, at Wilbraham Munson, Calabasas. So it was really fun.
Yeah. How did you handle moving around a lot? Because I did the same thing, and for me it wasn't that bad. But even from the outside, the outside noise, everyone's like, oh, he's going here, now he's going here, he's transferring here. I went to 3-4 high schools also, went to a few Jucos. So how did you handle that, transitioning to every new school you were at and adapting to the new environment?
That's a great question. I don't really get asked that question a lot. Well, people always assume when you transfer or you leave a program or you leave a school, hey, you're a problem, or there's an issue with you with basketball, with the coach, or now with women and things along the lines of that. And every time I've left, it has nothing to do with the coach, basketball, school, or stuff like that. It had something to do with my father's job. I can't control how my dad works. If he works in New York, guess what? We have to move. If he gets a better job opportunity in California, you go where the money is. It's just like guys in the NBA. Look at Chris Paul, like New Orleans, Rockets, OKC, Phoenix,
Clippers.
Thank you, Clippers. Exactly. Jamal Crawford's jumped around to 10 different teams, and they want to label you as almost a cancer in a way. But if something's out of your control, then you have to go with what's going on with your family and what's moving towards that direction. So that's what happened with me and why I moved around so much. But I kind of went into every situation with open arms, just seeing how the coaches were, how the other students were, how fans were. And you're the new kid on the block every day. So someone's always coming at your head in terms of basketball. So I always have practice and in workouts, I'm real intense. I hate losing. I'm competitive. So that's just how I came into it. And some of my teammates became my best friends. Some of the other guys were like, this guy's really annoying. So that's how I came into every situation. But that's a really good question.
Yeah, because, a lot of people, I mean, me being in Juco, it's so many guys with the same story, just all at the same spot. You know what I mean? Just same exact
Juco
story.
Grind.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that because, I rep Juco, because I feel like Juco, like a year of Juco can change your life. And
for sure.
So you finished up at Calabasas, and then you said you obviously were pretty highly recruited, and then you ended up at Charlotte. Okay, so talk about that and that experience as a freshman and first year playing Division I basketball against Division I guys, and how was that adapting to that lifestyle from high school?
Oh, definitely. My high school experience was really cool. My senior year, my senior class was literally a lot of my best friends from third grade. So it kind of felt like I was already in college. I'd show up to school. I only had 3 classes a day because of what I did at my prep school. So, and Calabasas High School is kind of it prepares you for college.
Yeah.
And you can make what you want of that by me saying it that way, but it definitely prepares you for college. And the basketball aspect, Coach Pilar's did a great job. We had real 2.5, 3 hour practices with weights. And outside of basketball, you have every distraction in the world living in Southern California in Calabasas. So I was prepared. And then going to Charlotte, and I've already lived on my own at prep school.
Right.
So I was already kind of comfortable being on my own or having a roommate. So that actually prepared me as well. But Charlotte was unbelievable. Coach Price was great. For those people who don't know what I'm saying, Coach Price, that's Mark Price, who played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors. Yeah, he's kind of if you go on 2K, he's on there. He's on the legend team.
Legend.
Sure.
Yep.
Legend. Still talked to him last week. He's great. And then I played for him, and then he got fired. And then later on in the year, I broke my foot. So that's why I ended up going to junior college just to play. Yeah, just for the love of the game, honestly.
Out, right? Transferring. And how did you feel about going JUCO initially? Were you I don't know the word to say, because a lot of people are clueless about JUCO. Like, they have no idea. They think you're going to a community college, and they think
you can say bougie. Did you feel too bougie? I think that's a good word, because a lot of guys are like, "Oh, I'm not going JUCO." Like,
right. And
they see it as a downgrade in a way.
And I've seen so many guys I call my brothers now that it changed their life. Like, they would have never got to where they're at today if they didn't do those years in JUCO. And not even just the recruiting aspect of it, just the life lessons you learn, the grind you learn, and it's just it's a different type of grind that a lot of people don't get to experience. So yeah, talk about JUCO, man. And
New Mexico. So leaving Charlotte, I had a lot of D1 schools. Wanted me to come and sit out the year, the transfer rule, or try to play right away. But I was coming off a 5th metatarsal Jones fracture. So in other words, I really messed up my foot and broke it pretty badly.
Yeah.
And I was in LA. I was working out here with Cassius Stanley for a while, who just got drafted. That's one of my really good friends. We're working out. Went to go play some pickup with Jrue and Aaron and Jaleel. Mike James, who's the best player overseas, is one of my buddies. We're all playing together. And I decided to go to JUCO probably when the coach from New Mexico Junior College, who's Luke Adams, came and flew to LA and met with me. And I was like, look, why would I pick you instead of going to UNLV or San Diego or Fresno State? Why would I go here? And he said, I think you're better than all those programs. I think you can really score. He gave you your little sales pitch every coach does.
Yes. And
I got there, and our JUCO team was unbelievable. I mean, we were stacked. You had me at the 3-2 combo. You had Rakim Felder, who was Final Four starting point guard from South Carolina.
From Coney Island, Brooklyn, Lincoln.
The Bronx Bully, as all the old heads know him as. Darnell Rogers, who's the 5-foot, Paul is Life YouTube sensation. Dion and Sean Rea, who were 2 6'8" twins, who were both at UTGRV, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. And Gideon. Gideon is currently, I don't know if he's starting or coming off the bench, but he's currently at BYU.
Yep.
And I mean, that those are 71 guys I just named, or however many. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Jamboree, and it was like AAU on steroids. I mean, every college coach from Oklahoma, Michigan State, where I originally was committed, Washington State, Pittsburgh. I mean, you just name a school outside of maybe Duke and Kentucky.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like Louisville, North Carolina State. Going there to junior college, you also man up a lot. You don't have the privilege of being at a D1 where you have food ready for you, and you have meals, and you have a stipend, and you're hurt. The training room's open. Don't worry. We have 4 trainers in there that are going to crack your back, stretch you, and fix you. No, JUCO, you got 1 trainer for every sport there. And the training room is probably just 3 ice baths and a couple foam rollers and a table. It's New Mexico Junior College. You're in Hobbs, New Mexico. There's nothing going on. Our downtown's Walmart. You build a camaraderie with your teammates that's very special during that time you're there, because everyone has the same goal, is to get back to D1 or go D1 and to win. So it made me man up a lot and become a better leader too, because some of my teammates were nuts, and they'll tell you they're crazy. They fought like crazy. Everything was an argument or someone trying to outdo one another, and it was just it makes you either become a problem solver or you become part of the problem. So, but it was fun. I have some great stories from Juco that I always tell my dad, if I were to write a book, people would think I made them up.
Yeah. No, bro. I mean, Juco, I did 3 years. Well, two and a half. I redshirted freshman year. But man, yeah, no, Juco was another. I wouldn't change it. I would go back, because those are, like I said, my brothers, and just the opportunity, like you said. I mean,
Yeah.
I played on the other side of Texas my freshman year in Region 14. So my year was Trinity Valley with Wendell Mitchell from Baylor, who's now at Texas A&M. They were loaded. Tyler Junior College with Brian Warren, who was at UT Arlington the past 2 years. Man, we had Maryland at Utah. And then, like you said, the Jamborees down in Dallas was EYBL, but for JUCO.
It honestly is amazing now. With junior college, let me interrupt you. Do you know who Brandon Global is? JUCO advocate.
Yeah, of course.
On Twitter. So I mean, he held that huge event in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unbelievable, extremely well ran. Every college coach in the country's there. Every Power 5 conference, to any low major conference, to D2, D3, to, NAIA. You have every opportunity to get seen there. And with synergy now too, coaches have synergy, and junior college players are, to me, tougher than D1 guys that just go D1.
I agree 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Maybe a little mentally crazier, definitely, but in terms of grinding it out and just working your butt off, and I appreciated University of Pittsburgh so much more when I went from JUCO to Pitt. It was like night and day. You go from a cylinder block room wall to a beautiful apartment, to a gym access, to free food, meals. And at JUCO, I remember for a month straight, I think I ate Cocoa Puffs every night. And I'm pretty sure we had bad milk a couple nights too, because I felt terrible in the morning. At Pitt, you have someone who does your laundry after practice. At JUCO, we're bringing that back to the dorm, and 25 cents every night. All right, let me go find a quarter somewhere, do my laundry. Yeah, so my shoes ripped. And you're used to getting gear. My shoes ripped, and I was like, crap, I don't have any other shoes. Obviously, I had my ones from Charlotte, but we're wearing red. I don't want to look like a Christmas tree on the court.
Yeah, wearing green, right?
So, Coach Luke Adams did a very good job, and is still doing a good job in New Mexico Junior College. I give him a lot of credit. I think he's going to be very successful. I don't know, with COVID and everything going on, how JUCO is going to work, but they're going to be very good.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the opportunity to play against them last year due to injury, but I watched both games, on the live stream when they went to Hobbs, and then when they came, I went to Howard. So.
Oh, okay,
yeah. I played 9 games.
What year did you go to Howard?
Last year, 2019.
I think I gave you guys 27.
The year before.
Yeah, maybe 21, 27, something along those lines.
Yeah. So I went to Howard, and I didn't get a chance to really. I don't think I played any conference games. I played Weatherford. That was about it. That was my last game that I played. I broke my wrist and had a microfracture in my knee in the same year.
Damn.
So yeah, I was out for a little while, but yeah, New Mexico was really good. I think they swept us last year. Yeah.
So Gideon is the.
Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar with them. Yeah, I'm familiar with them. And then Terrence was probably their leading scorer last year. He was. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was. Where was he? I don't know if he transferred in from a Division I, or if he went there.
No, I think he transferred from a D1.
He did.
I remember he was telling me about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were good last year also. But yeah. So after JUCO, you finished up your sophomore year, and you had pretty good numbers there, I would say. And how was your recruiting like after that? How many doors opened up for you after junior college?
So, beginning of junior college, I had offers from everyone. I had a lot of interest from Oklahoma. Had a lot of interest from man. Honestly, almost every school. I felt like just a lot of interest. I remember my first offer was Iona.
Okay.
And then my second one was East Carolina. And then I took unofficial to Virginia Tech just because University of Charlotte, where I was at before I left to go Juco, was pretty close. About a 2.5-hour drive. So I went, did unofficial, played pickup, hung out with Coach Buzz, did all those things that unofficial visit does. And then after that visit, it took off.
Really?
Well, luckily for me, and an amazing blessing and opportunity that I still talk to him all the time and say thank you for, is the 2-time MVP. This is what everyone kind of freaks out about, is Steph.
Yeah.
That summer, I was with Stephen for 3 months straight after I did all my Virginia Tech visits and unofficial stuff, and was just doing whatever. And I worked out with him in Walnut Creek in San Francisco every day for about 3 months, just getting ready for the season. We were doing treatment, working out with Brandon Payne, with Steph and Damian Lee. And it was just an unbelievable experience, and he really helped me to get better. We actually went to go play pickup at St. Mary's. So St. Mary's started recruiting me. You know how that stuff goes.
Yeah.
But it took off. I mean, it was unbelievable. I was blessed beyond to have. I think at one point I had like 30-something offers.
Really?
Yeah, it was getting wild to the point where I just stopped telling. Verbal commits posted probably I think my first 10. And I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna post anymore. And one day I'll never forget, I was leaving my Texas Tech visit. So Texas Tech offered me that day. University of South Florida offered me that day. East Carolina already did, and then Pacific did, and then Idaho did, all on the same day.
Wow.
And then the next day we had pickup, and it was SFA, Stephen F. Austin, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, Montana, Loyola Chicago, Washington State, obviously. So that was all like within like a week and a half span.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was kind of nuts. Like I would literally call my dad and be like, "Hey, just got this one." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." So junior college really can help people. So it was an unbelievable blessing for me.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm very in tune with the junior college world, and I would always, I even was familiar with you at New Mexico because I was like, all right, let me go see the guys that are in Region 5 the year before. So I was even watching, some film on you before, I was looking at Rangers roster and, all the, better teams in the conference. And, I remember seeing originally committed to Washington State, and I saw it on Twitter, and then I saw you ended up at Pitt. So, how did that decision come about that you finalized the Pitt commitment?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that made me finalize the Pitt commitment was Washington State. Shout out to Coach Ncaa. I wanted to play for him at Washington State. That's what I committed to, and they fired him at the end of the year. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of coaches getting fired wherever I commit, wherever I go. It's almost laughable, honestly. Coach Price, Ernie Kent. So I was like, I want to go to a program where I know the coach is going to be there. I know he's getting a contract. I know he's good. Do my homework. I cut my list to University of Pittsburgh, Gonzaga, Cal. What else I have? Oh, TCU.
Okay.
There's a couple more. I cut it down to like 10, and then over time we cut it down to 3. And then Jason Capel, whose brother is the head coach, came out to see me. Saw me work out, saw me, had dinner with me and my dad and my family. And I committed a week later on the phone to Coach Capel and announced it. And then I took my official visit right after I committed. And I love Pittsburgh. Great fans, great city. It's just really cold.
Yeah, I can imagine.
New York. But unbelievable experience. And that was all because of junior college. So
yeah, man, that year at Juco definitely gets you ready for that level, and it's like after you overcame Juco, and you know what I mean, you were successful there. You feel like you can kind of do whatever because you went through the mud. You know what I mean? You grinded it out, and now it's like I'm gonna get what I deserve.
Oh, definitely. That's how I felt. So the ACC was awesome. Coming out of high school, I never heard from one school in the ACC. You go to junior college, all of a sudden, I have Clemson's interested, phone call from NC State, Pittsburgh offer. I was waiting to hear back from North Carolina. I didn't know what they were doing with a certain player. I don't want to say his name on there, but I'll give you a hint. I kicked his ass when we played him. So I was waiting to see that part as well. But yeah, so that's all from junior college. So when people put down junior college, I think it's like people are insecure with themselves in the term junior college, or they just don't know anything about junior college.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler went to freaking junior college.
Yeah.
Jay Crowder went to junior college.
Jay Crowder went to Howard.
Rasheed Wallace or Ben Wallace. I think both actually
Ben
might have
Wallace
both.
did, yeah.
Ben Wallace did. I'm just saying, I mean, we're talking about the best of the best in the NBA. I mean, guys can say Jay Crowder isn't good. Jay Crowder was just in the freaking finals.
Yep.
Jimmy Butler was just in the NBA finals. Ben Wallace has a championship. So, I mean, you can say what you want about junior college guys, but we're dogs in our own way, whether we do it verbally or however we do it. But you go through a lot in Juco to get that satisfaction.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, man. We're back. Yeah, man. So we were just talking about Pitt and your experience there. I want talk about some of your best moments there and your biggest games and playing in the ACC, playing at Duke and North Carolina. Talk about some of those experiences, man, because I know there's a lot of people that obviously will never get the opportunity. And talk about that, man.
So first off, one thing that Pitt has never done is beaten North Carolina twice in the same year, and we did that. Started the first game, didn't start the second one, but I played way better in the second one. So being North Carolina on North Carolina's floor is an amazing feeling. I was just growing up North Carolina. It's funny, growing up North Carolina was my dream school in Texas. Those were my two favorite schools. Mm-hmm. So not getting recruited by North Carolina, going in there, I had a huge chip on my shoulder. Yeah. Like, I got to make every shot. I got to go off this game. We got to win. I couldn't have played worse at North Carolina. I think I thought I broke my thumb at one point. Armando elbowed me so hard in my hand. I thought I broke my thumb. It was shaking. I had my hand all taped up. I was 0 for maybe like 3 or 4 in the first half. And I'm like, man, I'm playing like shit. I'm like down on myself. We get out of the gate. Coach Capel's just preaching defense. I'm like, all right. I got 2 steals in about 2 seconds. I was like, all right, I gotta get a bucket. Mm-hmm. I got a layup and I made 2 free throws. And Justin Champagny and Trey McGowan's played his ass off. He's at Nebraska now.
Okay.
He played unbelievable in the second half. Probably his best performance he's had in the Pitt jersey. And he really won us the game in our team defense. So that was awesome to beat them. And then beating Florida State at home, first game of the year. I was going crazy that game. I was talking a lot of trash. I was just out there having fun. So that was awesome to beat 4 guys who just got drafted in the NBA draft. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then my personal and selfish favorite is the Boston College game winner. It was an indescribable feeling to see you hit a game winner and turn and look over at the crowd and you see students with your name painted on them in letters, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I actually have the picture still on my phone of that. It's pretty dope.
I'll drop that in on this video.
Yeah. Let me go back and find it. My mom has all that stuff, but it was just an amazing experience in general. Just to play in the ACC, playing at Duke, I played terrible. We lost. I wish I could go back and play that game again. I mean, it was just you don't realize how blessed and lucky you are until you like look back on it, honestly, because you're just thinking, oh, I got another game. Who you guys got? Oh, we got Duke at Duke. Oh, okay. And then like now that I'm not in the ACC right now, you're looking back like, damn, I really was just playing against Coach K. And I was just playing against all these guys. Like, it's just it's crazy to look back on it right now and think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I couldn't imagine the ACC. I'm sure the games was wild, playing at Cameron Indoor and, in Chapel Hill. And it's probably, experience, obviously, you're going to take with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
How big of a difference was the jump from JUCO basketball to the ACC, talent wise and speed, the level, everything?
Well, the reason that we both played in, I think, is that obviously to me is the hardest region you can play in.
Mm-hmm.
If you play New Mexico Junior College, Howard, Ranger, I'm forgetting so many really good other programs.
My year, Clarendon was really good.
Clarendon, thank you.
Uh,
CSI is
College
that?
Southern Idaho.
They're usually very good. All the Florida JUCOs that are usually ranked pretty high.
Yeah, Region 8, and
Um,
then on the other side of Texas with Trinity Valley,
yeah, thank
TJC.
you. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Even New Mexico military had some guys
Nimi. Yep.
that were pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think going from JUCO to ACC, it's a jump. I wouldn't say it's a massive jump, but in everyone's eyes, it's that doesn't really know junior college basketball. It's a massive jump. So I I just address it how I'd address every game. I come in or every day, come in, get my shots up in the morning, leave, go to class, come back, do weights practice, try to go to class at night if I'm not tired. If I don't have class at night, I'll come back at night and shoot from 9 to 10 with the manager and call it a day.
Yeah.
So that was my routine, and I got obsessed with it. Just getting up as many shots as I could, working on my game, so that when you do play Florida State, that's got 6'8", 6'11", 6'10", all on the floor at once. You're comfortable with it. But we had a team trip to Italy that we took that really boosted my confidence going into the year. I played really well in Italy, and that really boosted my confidence coming into the season.
Yeah. A saying that me and my boys say a lot, and what I kind of live by is like betting on yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's exactly what you did, going to junior college, because obviously you were a higher level player than Charlotte. You know what I mean? You could play
Yeah.
in Power 5 conferences, and you bet on yourself, and obviously you succeeded in that. So how has betting on yourself played a role in your life and obviously your success on the basketball court?
Man, I like to think I bet on myself every time basketball is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in anything in life, you bet on yourself because you want to see yourself be successful. And I watched this really cool Kobe with Matt Barnes and what was it called? The podcast they have. I
Steven
just watched the
Jackson.
Kobe. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
watched that one. And Kobe talked about how his goal was 10 rings or 8 rings, and he fell short and got 5.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have told Kobe Bryant, hey, you're going to have 5 rings, he'd be pretty ecstatic and pretty happy. So for me, my goal has always been to play in the NBA. And betting on myself, I'm a 6'1", 6'2", tough, not freaky athletic white guy.
Yeah.
There's not too many of us walking around the NBA or even at the highest level overseas or whatever highest level there is. So my goal is NBA and to play professional basketball. So when I think you set your goal extremely high, you don't settle, but you don't become comfortable, but you almost become okay with, okay, I set my goal to win 10 rings. I got 4.
Yeah, you're chipping
So
away.
that's kind of how I've always been with myself is, okay, my goal is to get North Carolina to offer me coming out of Juco. Okay, they didn't offer me. Pitt offered me. I mean, that's an amazing program. So I've always bet on myself. I think Fred VanVleet said it best when he was like, I don't want to do that. Like on his draft day video, talking about, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm ready for the league. And having that mindset and confidence and work ethic to back it up is always how I've been. So I think I bet on myself. Sometimes maybe too much.
I feel like that's not a bad thing to do, though, because at the end of the day, not everyone sees your vision and your story,
Yeah.
and they shouldn't. They'll never understand why you do certain things. There's always going to be outside noise that is telling you, no, you shouldn't do that, or you should do this, and they have no idea, what you do every single day. They only see from the outside looking in. So, man,
I agree 100%. That's a really good point. All the people, like Damian Lillard said the other day, he said something about how people only look at what I'm doing in the game, not the hours I'm spending in the weight room, on the training table,
Exactly.
in the cryo chamber, and all those things. And you don't. Like, same thing with LeBron. I think it's amazing how fast it is for people to just, LeBron can't shoot well enough. LeBron, he's a freak of nature. And the guy is, I think LeBron bets on himself more than anyone too, going to Cleveland. That's crazy. Going to Cleveland and winning a championship, beating Steph. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a LeBron guy, but that man bet on himself. Oh, I'm going to go to the Lakers and flip around this whole organization in a year, 2 years. That's never been done before. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Betting on yourself, I feel, can take you a long way and obviously help you accomplish a lot of your dreams and goals. Talking back to that summer with Steph, I wanted to kind of get into that a little bit because, I mean, I'm a Steph Curry guy, and you know, being a shooter, a smaller guard, and stuff like that. So that's a guy obviously I looked up to. I think I was a Warriors fan back in whenever he got drafted. I don't know if you remember. There's this YouTube
Monte
video.
Ellis.
Yeah, him and Monte, and there was a video that it was a Wiz Khalifa song playing in the background, and it was Steph Curry's like highlight tape and I would watch it every single day, and yeah, man, I'm obviously he's 2-time MVP and he came a long way from when he first got in the league. But talk about that summer working out with him. What did you learn? What were the things he was telling you, and how much did you improve?
I think I went from a good Conference USA player to a ready Mountain West ACC guard within that summer. My body started to mature a little more. My mindset changed on how I've always worked out. Like, guys always work out and you work hard and you do the running, you do the extra shooting, but working out with him, I learned to be almost like a sniper. Like, we would do shooting games. And if you miss 2 in a row, it's over. There's no thinking, oh, he's going to give me one here. He's not.
Yeah.
So it went from like he'll confirm, and I can honestly say this. I beat him in 3 shooting drills. And I ran around the gym after like a little kid. The game's called 21, and I beat him in 21. And I didn't win a drill for the next 2 months.
Wow.
Or a month and a half, whatever it was, before he left to come to LA and come back. I didn't win. Not one. And just seeing how his attention to detail is so different. He's got behind slide. We do this. Brandon has this whole setup called behind slide, behind hop, between step back, between slide. And just the way he works out is so much different than everyone else. Everyone wants to come in and do, all the generic stuff. He comes in with technology. We do these tennis ball drills off the wall, ball handling drills, heavy ball, game ball, ladder drills, Vertimax. And his attention to detail, and he asked really good questions. And I got to pick his brain. I would ask him, hey, how'd you get that shot over Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson? What did you see? And he explained to me all these things about someone's head and their nose. They can't guard you if their nose is here and they're trying to put a hand up here. And just the fact that he broke it down and made it seem like it was almost like math. Like, hey, you like PEMDAS. And I'm sitting here like, this is incredible. And I loved every second of it. And it was an unbelievable blessing. He DM'd me on Instagram actually a week ago. Asked him something funny. But I'm not going to hit him up because Clay just got hurt. So that's not good.
Right. Yeah. It's terrible.
But, I mean, that summer was life-changing, and I owe it a lot to Steph and Brandon and the Accelerate crew that was up there in the Bay. And being around someone like that, it makes you want to – he's an amazing human being. That's what a lot of people don't know. All that stuff you see on Instagram, it's not for show. It's genuinely who he is. Like, somebody wanted to take a picture with him. He immediately took a picture with them.
Yeah.
He wasn't rude. He's a really good guy from a great family. And Riley, his daughter, can really dance. Really? She used to come to workouts with headphones on and dance. Yeah. So it just goes, he is what you see on TV. He's a great guy. He's humble. He works his butt off. He's a great dad. And he's a really good human being. And I'm just happy to even be in that circle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. That's an amazing person to have, in your corner and, as a mentor and someone to look up to. Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, he took your game to another level, and just that confidence and, like you said, working out with him every day. I'm sure it pushed you, like you haven't been pushed before.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of what I wanted to get into after this was talk about some adversity obviously with transferring 3 different times, injuries. How did you deal with all that? And where was your, you know, mental capacity, at those point in time where your back was against the wall and you had to go back to the drawing board at a bunch of moments. So talk about dealing with adversity, in the basketball world.
Definitely. I've had a lot of injuries, which sucks. But
Yeah.
it's part of the game. I think at Charlotte, I redshirt my first year. I broke my right hand. In our third practice, broke my right hand. So redshirt my first year. Then second year I'm playing. I think I actually just got conference freshman of the week, and then the next game in practice I broke my foot.
Wow.
Go to junior college. I think my foot's 100% healed. I'm about 24 games in, and something's bothering me with my foot. I had to come home, get my foot looked at, and evaluated. Got to Pitt. I thought I was playing pretty well. Could have played better. Ended up getting a concussion that totally messed me up and screwed me for about 3 weeks. And now I can honestly say my body feels the best it's ever felt. I feel strong again. I've been working with Jrue and their strength people, strength guy Mike G. I feel strong as hell. We've been hooping every day, no injuries, no soreness. So I finally feel like I'm 100% healthy, which is nice. But dealing with it, I kind of embrace it. When you get an injury, it means, all right, I got to work harder, go to rehab. After rehab, I'm in the ice bath. After the ice bath, you leave, you come back, get food, do rehab again. Those are for guys who love it. Guys who don't love it are like, all right, I'm hurt. I'm going to take my time. I try to really invest in, okay, what do I need to bring home? Do I need to do more foam rolling? What do we need to do to, speed the process up or, come back healthier? So yeah, that's kind of it. I just embraced it. There were definitely low times though too, where you're just sitting on the bench and you're just sitting there like, this sucks. Like knowing I could be out there helping win the game, or you see a mismatch or something that you think you see on the court and you're sitting there on the sideline, but you're just sitting there. So it gets frustrating, but I think my injuries to my career have actually helped me become a better basketball player.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously when you're not playing, only thing you can do is learn and and try to improve those ways. And I dealt with that a lot. I couldn't stay healthy. I've had one good year of college where I played an entire season, and it's just been nonstop injuries for me. And during those times, it's like, you can sit there and sulk and feel bad for yourself, or you can find ways to improve without being able to touch a basketball or use a basketball. So I broke my wrist last year, my right hand, and I was just sitting doing left hand ball handling, left hand floaters, left hand all that stuff. So there's definitely ways you can improve your game even when you're hurt. And man, but those times there is some dark times there, because it's just like, especially when you get hurt back to back to back to back, and you're just like, man, I can't catch a break.
And then the surgery and having to go through that process again. It's, but I mean, it's part of the game. Look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's coming back from a torn Achilles. Klay Thompson just was injured and tore his ACL, MCL, or whatever he did. Now he just tore his meniscus, right? Achilles. Did I read that right? Meniscus? Achilles?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Giannis honestly had a chance to come back with the Heat. Completely sprains his ankle, terrible. Jrue Holiday, for example, a year and a half ago had to have surgery on his stomach. Yeah. So it's all a part of the game. Paul George. I mean, look at PG from that USA game. Leg. That was terrifying. Kobe Bryant, I think, has rest in peace to Kobe. When he was playing, went through so much. I mean, his hand, his fingers, he shot left-handed because he dislocated his shoulder, I'm pretty sure, on one play. I mean, it's unbelievable the injuries and stuff athletes go through. But it's all about your determination to get back. Like if you didn't love it, then you kind of say, all right, this is, I'm done. Like I'm fed up. But instead, you keep fighting for it.
Yeah, no. It's just something you got to deal with, and it's just another obstacle you got to overcome. That's really all you can do. Can't prevent it. If you're gonna play, you can't prevent it. They say it's like almost a science. If you play enough basketball, you're gonna roll your ankle at some point.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
our bodies aren't made for it. I mean, think about it. We're literally running and jumping and trying to avoid contact, but yet block a ball and run full speed but not tackle someone and make a move as fast as you can. I mean, it's your body's not made to do that. But to me, there's no better feeling than playing basketball.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Especially when I'm making shots. If I'm not making shots, I'm not happy.
yeah, basketball when you're rolling and you're hot, it's that feeling second to none.
Oh, best feeling in the world.
Um, who is someone you would model your game after in the NBA, and who's someone that you take a lot from and could see yourself fitting that role in the NBA, playing that style?
That's a tough question.
You could mix and match, one or two guys, take a little bit from a few.
I like to say JJ Redick, but I handle the ball way too much to be JJ. Um, and I get to the rim way more than JJ. I love Fred VanVleet. I've never worked out with Fred. I've never even spoken one word to Fred, but um, just his change of pace, the way he can get to the rim, and he's a great shot maker. He can facilitate. I think a VanVleet kind of guy is a good comparison. Definitely not Steph. There's no one else besides Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I just think my ability to catch and shoot is definitely similar to JJ. My job to relocate and move without the ball, but I also can obviously put the ball on the deck and really finish and make moves. So I think VanVleet is actually a really good comparison. I'm a little taller though. I stood next to him. I'm taller.
How tall are you?
So
You're about what, 6'2"?
yeah,
6'2".
yeah. So definitely, I think Fred is a good one for me to look at. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. I'm trying to think.
No, I
think
like that
that's
one though. Fred, I'm hoping he comes to the Knicks. I'm hoping they sign him with a few of these young guys they got. They could put in Fred with VanVleet and Miles Powell now, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin. I like Obi's game. I hope it translates and he does really well.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's got bounce too.
Yeah, he's a New York guy. He's from born in Brooklyn.
They just signed Miles Powell too.
Yep. So they got some young guys coming in from East Coast. Hopefully they could get it done.
Yeah, I hope they're actually good.
Yeah, finally. But yeah, man. As we kind of come to a close, just talk about your plans and vision for your future with basketball and everything like that. Where do you want to see yourself? Obviously the NBA, but just talk about your 5-year plan.
My 5-year plan. Honestly, man, I'm gonna go back to school and play in college for the season. So I'm excited about that. Not saying where yet, but I'm excited to be back and playing in college.
Yes.
For my senior year, which the Ncaa was awesome with, helped me and everything. And then after that, you never know. I hope Portsmouth's open and COVID, we figure this thing out as a country and as a world, and COVID ends and Portsmouth's open, NBA's back to having workouts, summer league. And, I can just get into Portsmouth or the workouts in summer league. And I'm kind of big on taking a step at a time, like one step at a time. So I don't really think I have a technical 5-year plan away. I'm kind of just taking it, get through the season, do the best you can, win as many games you can. Okay, now what opportunities are open for me to go where? And
yeah, no, I like
now
that.
let's goes.
Yeah, because you never know. Obviously, if someone would have told you a year from now, I speak about this so much. I feel like I say it in every episode. It's just like if someone told you, a year ago you'd be at where you're at today, you would have no idea. You know what I mean? You would have never thought that would happen. And then if you go back 5 years, it's like night and day of how much you've grown and your mindset and everything. So yeah, I kind of just I usually ask that question to see if people have that, because I mean I don't. I get asked that question a lot, like, oh, like where do you see your podcast in 5 years? I don't know, but all I can do is be the best I can today, and that'll be a better tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%. I think that's a great way to word it, actually. That's really good. I'm stealing that from you for sure.
Yeah, man. But this was a good one, man. I really appreciate you coming on and getting back to me right away. I was kind of just, I just made the Twitter. I was kind of just scrolling through some people, and I was like, oh, like I remember this guy from Juco, and I know he was a Juco guy, and I'd love to have him on. I watched obviously some games at Pitt on ESPN, and no, man, this was a really good one, and obviously I'd love to have you back on another time for second appearance.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man, but yeah, let's stay connected, let's stay in touch, and send me that picture whenever you get a chance.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'll put that in, and I'll throw some of your highlights at Pitt, at the end of this clip, and we'll tag your Instagram and everything. But yeah, man, this was a good one. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. This was dope.
Yeah, man. So hopefully this one should drop probably in a week or two, and I'll send everything your way. So
yeah, bet I'll repost or whatever you want me to post or tag. I'm cool with doing that.
All right, cool, man. But you have yourself a good night, man, and get to work tomorrow, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Have a good